Take it away.
Okay. The quote here is from Jane Jacobs, urbanist and activist, and someone you will be learning a lot about in any urban planning program. And she says, successful, vibrant, happy cities arise out of the visions of many, not the powerful few. And I think one of the things that we aspire to do in this program is to think critically about how we can forge these successful, vibrant, happy cities and address the very different visions that different people have about the potential future for the city, reconcile these sometimes conflicting views, and forge a future for cities. So today I want to discuss, first of all, what planning is, why UCI is a good place to pursue a planning degree. I want to give you an overview of the MURP program, provide some information about admissions, and then take any questions that you may have. So the American Planning Association, in response to the question, what is planning, says the goal of planning is to maximize the health, safety, and economic well-being of all people living in our communities. This involves thinking about how we can move around our community, how we can attract and retain thriving businesses, where we want to live, and opportunities for recreation. Planning, at its best, helps to create communities of lasting value. And so a Master of Urban and Regional Planning will help you both to develop the skills needed to pursue this goal and also cultivate the professional relationships that you will need to build your career. So what is it that planners do? They research, design, and develop programs to promote the goals outlined on the previous slide. They help lead public processes to develop visions of a city and to think about how to turn those visions into reality. They try to affect social and structural change to create more just and equitable cities. They perform technical analyses. They try to promote equity, health, and well-being. They manage processes, and they educate members of the public. There are a variety of areas of specialization within the planning profession. So I know that some of you here today are pursuing undergraduate degrees in either urban planning or urban studies. That's not at all a requirement for applying to or being accepted to a Master of Urban and Regional Planning program. But some of you may already know about some of these areas of specialization, and some of you may not know. So, for example, planners can specialize in land use and infrastructure planning, in the related field of transportation planning, that is how our public transportation and how our streets and highways should be managed and where they should be built, housing, commercial real estate development, environmental regulations, and community development. These are just some of the areas of specialization. Now, I should note that some urban and regional planning master's programs have areas of specialization within the program. And in order to pursue those areas of specialization, they require students to take a particular sequence of courses. We offer courses on all of these topics, but we don't require students to specialize in any particular area. And I think this allows students an unusual degree of flexibility as they move through the program, and students have in the past expressed their appreciation for this flexibility. One of the other strengths of the program, I think, is its location. Orange County is a great place to study planning. It's an incredibly diverse area. It includes incredible resources. It is also, there are also many challenges confronting Orange County. And so I think it creates a very dynamic and exciting environment in which to pursue a career in planning and a planning education. Irvine is a very interesting place to study planning as well. Irvine is, I think, the largest master planned city in the United States. And it was planned in an era where ideas of what constituted good planning are very different from what they are today. Irvine is a very auto-centric city. It is a city famously a city without a center. So it is planned around many different nodes. It is so this auto-centric view of planning predominated in the middle of the 20th century. We have come as planners to recognize that this auto-centric view of planning has created many problems. Irvine, I think, is both an important and I think should be a humbling example of our the potential for planning to have mistaken views of what will benefit future generations, but also I think we should recognize that a city like Irvine does provide a lot of valuable benefits to its residents, and so thinking about how to reconcile those benefits with some of the problems that a very auto-centric view of planning has created in terms of environmental problems, in terms of economic problems is important. UC Irvine itself is a great place to study planning. The campus is actually master planned based on a very influential idea of planning, which is Ebenezer Howard's vision of the Garden City. And the department, so the Master of Urban and Regional Planning program is located within the Department of Urban Planning and Public Policy, and the Department of Urban Planning and Public Policy is located within the School of Social Ecology. The School of Social Ecology was founded based on a vision of ecological systems, and that not only is the natural environment sort of dependent on these ecological systems, but also social processes are part of these ecological systems and should be understood as such. So our students develop the knowledge and technical and communicative and professional skills that enhance planning practice. We educate students to understand complex urban challenges across multiple spatial scales. We embrace the core planning values of sustainability and inclusiveness, and we prepare students to play a significant role in creating a desirable future by confronting complex physical and social challenges. I think we also have a relatively small cohort, so our students get to know each other very well, and there are many opportunities to get to know faculty very well, which I think is unusual for a program in a research university of the size and scope of UC Irvine. So we offer professional education and we yield professional results. We have a 2-year full-time professional degree program. It's the only accredited master's in planning program in Orange County. The employment rate for our graduates is consistently very strong. And the region, the Los Angeles, Long Beach, Anaheim metropolitan statistical area, has the highest level of employment for planners in the United States, according to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics. So what do we aspire to do in this program? We educate aspiring planning professionals to develop and implement equitable strategies to address complex challenges within a diverse society, to translate planning knowledge to improve well-being, and to engage communities to build a just and sustainable future. You will be, as a student in our program, you would be taking 18 courses, 3 courses per quarter. We have 5 required core courses: history and theory of urban planning, plan development and communication, quantitative analysis for planners, microeconomics for planners, and land use law. In addition, there are core elective courses. Every year we will offer at least 1 and typically 2 or 3 urban settlements course, and at least 1 and typically 2 or 3 additional methods courses. And you have to take one of those, 1 urban settlements course and 1 additional methods course. So our urban settlements courses are transportation and environmental health, housing policy, and land use policy. And then our additional methods courses are analytical methods for planners, qualitative methods, and geographic information systems for planners. We routinely offer geographic information systems classes every year, and often offer multiple GIS classes every year. Our elective courses include advanced GIS, and so community engagement, environmental and racial justice, environmental economics and policy, environmental planning and management, global water security, public finance, public participation, site design, site development, sustainable cities, transportation planning, and transportation practice. We offer many of these every year, but we don't offer all of them every year. But hopefully over the 2-year period when you'll be here, we'll offer all, if not most of these courses, most, if not all of these courses. And you can also take planning related courses outside of the Department of Urban Planning and Public Policy. I would note that I think one of the great strengths of our department is that we offer a relatively large number of courses related to environmental planning. And I think this is a strength in comparison to other Master of Urban and Regional Planning programs. And it's because we are a Department of Urban Planning and Public Policy, and many of the folks who are focused on public policy are focused in particular on environmental policy. So I think this is a huge benefit for our students. Our students take one capstone project. We strongly recommend that students either do the professional report or the planning practicum. It is possible that the thesis option will no longer be an option when students who are enrolling this year, who are applying this year, start the program. The comprehensive exam is an option that is rarely taken. The capstone project is completed during the fall and winter terms of the second year. And so the planning practicum is, I think, a really great opportunity for students to work with a community under the supervision of a very experienced planner who has fostered relationships with communities throughout Orange County and Southern Los Angeles County, and comes up with great clients who are really eager to get students' input on on various projects. And so under the supervision of the instructor over 2 quarters, students will address a pressing planning problem confronting a city in Orange County or in Southern Los Angeles County. The professional report is an individual project, and students find a client. Students have to find a client before the beginning of their second year. They have to agree on the scope of the project with the client, and then they have to find a faculty advisor and create a professional quality report under the supervision of both a professional report class instructor in the fall quarter and then a faculty advisor during the winter quarter. So there are ways to maximize your time at UC Irvine. You can get a concurrent degree, for example, with the law school. That would require you to apply also to the law school. And then instead of doing 3 years at the law school and 2 years in the MURP program, you can combine the 2 degrees into a 4-year program. We have opportunities for international study and research, in particular the NOIRIS program, which sponsors MURP students to go to Germany, the Netherlands, or Austria. And we have a variety of centers at UCI that provide for research and engagement opportunities, including Water UCI, the Blum Center for Poverty Alleviation, UCI Engage, and many more. So as I mentioned before, we have a relatively small size for our program, and we try to keep it to around 30 students per year. So this enables us to foster cohesion within the cohort, and also to create connections between students and faculty. We have 3 great student associations: the Urban Planning Student Association, the UCI student chapter of the Orange County Association of Environmental Professionals, and UCI Planners of Color. We have excellent professional networks and opportunities for professional engagement. We have a mentorship program. We have professional skill building events. We offer professional development class taught by a practicing planner. And we offer a number of skills-based elective classes. We provide guest lectures and workshops, site visits, job shadowing opportunity, internships and job postings, and support for a variety of independent career development activities. How much does it cost? For California residents, the cost is about $25,000 a year. For non-residents, it's about $37,000 a year. We offer a variety of sources of funding support. We offer merit-based and diversity fellowships. We offer graduate, there are campus-wide graduate division fellowships and grants that may be available, need-based financial aid in the form of grants and loans, and then external scholarships, fellowships, and outside grants. So I would encourage you to apply and see what kind of financial aid offer you may get. We take a holistic approach and consider a variety of aspects of your application. So we do look at GPA, but GPA does not determine whether we admit or do not admit a student. If you have had some poor grades, that is absolutely not necessarily disqualifying, but it is something that is worth explaining in one of your statements. We ask for 3 letters of recommendation. Strongly recommend at least 1 letter from a academic instructor, professor. 2 is even better, but certainly at least 1 will greatly strengthen your application. And then you have to provide a statement of purpose and a personal history statement. So the statement of purpose should focus on your academic, professional, and research experiences or interests. You don't have to have research experiences or interests, but if you do have them, this is the place to mention them. And we review this statement to evaluate your preparation for a professional planning degree program. So this is a 1,200 word statement, and then the personal history statement is also a 1,200 word statement. So here you focus on your personal background. You should consider including information on your life experience and history and how your experience and history motivate your personal and professional goals. We welcome information on how you have contributed to or plan to contribute to diversity, equity, inclusion within our program and the planning profession. The timeline for admissions, applications opened on October 1st. The deadline for your application is January 15th for if you want priority consideration for fellowship funding. In early March, we'll have a welcome event for admitted students, and on April 15th is the national deadline for statements of intent to register. So that's all that I have for the presentation. Feel free to email me at this address.